们一定要拿下赤壁，攻陷柴桑。
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Latrell Sprewell, and this is my review of Red Cliff. Red Cliff was released in 2 parts in Asia in 2008 and 2009. I saw both parts in the cinema, but I went home in between. The 2 parts were condensed into a single film for release in the West. So I'm going to combine the 2 films and just do one review. Obviously, the 2 halves are completely interrelated, and I don't think that they're different enough to deserve a review each. But what do I know, right? Well, I do know that there aren't 2 films called The 5 Commandments. Now, I've never read The 3 Kingdoms, or played any of the games. I tried to read the book, but the profusion of names after a while just made my head spin. It reminded me of the Old Testament. I ended up having a really weird dream about a fight between Guanggung and David lost. And Guanggung held up that huge weapon and said, "From my cold, dead hands!" It was weird. Where were we? Ah, yes. Without having seen any of the innumerable adaptations, whether on film or TV, I didn't have any bias. I didn't have any kind of prejudice about what this character should look like or where that scene should take place. A lot of people that I spoke to in Hong Kong criticized the film because they had those kinds of preconceptions and they felt that it just wasn't what they wanted and it was different than what it should have been. Now, I can understand that because you know what? Sean Connery is James Bond. Everyone else who ever tried to play James Bond might have been okay, but they weren't Sean Connery. I didn't know the story of the Battle of Red Cliff. And you know what? After watching both of the Red Cliff movies, I can say with absolute conviction that I still don't know what the Battle of Red Cliff is about. Like so many other classic Chinese stories told in film, the producers, understandably and justifiably, assume that the audience already knows the story, so they're not going to be bothered telling the story, they're just going to use it as a framework to set up a bunch of stuff. So that means that if you don't know the story, and you know you're not going to be told the story, then really all you can do is kind of sit back and see what the movie shows you. And that was fine, because to me, these movies, aren't really about the events as much as the presentation. This story is about spectacle, and there's plenty of that. This is John Woo set free from the cultural limitations of Hollywood and given a much bigger budget than he was used to on this side of the planet. It's like a Michael Bay movie, but in Chinese, and good. Tony Leung and Takeshi Kaneshiro lead a really strong cast, all of whom turn in commendable performances. Leung's film debut is an impressive turn in a minor but pivotal role as a woman caught up in events that are much larger than she is, even as she is at least partially the cause of those events. Vicky Zhao is very entertaining as the tomboyish sister of Sun Quan. Shido Nakamura is at first glance kind of a disappointment as all he does is a lot of scowling and very little speaking, all of which is dubbed, but he's very entertaining and provides some comic relief as well as dramatic heft. The battle scenes are huge in scope, and the CGI is occasionally obvious, but it's also to be expected. You couldn't build these sets in real life without gigantic expenses. All of John Woo's recurring themes are here: loyalty, honor, brotherhood that verges on romance, birds. This is a film that I didn't really watch, I just kind of looked at, and for that, it was a lot of fun. It's a very good, very strong, very interesting movie, and if you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest that you do. So if you haven't seen it, watch it by buying a disc. Don't download the movie. In the description, there are links to where you can buy a DVD or a Blu-ray of this film. I can recommend Blu-ray for this. I don't own one, but I can recommend it. If you enjoy the review, leave me a comment. If you don't enjoy the review, please leave me a comment. And if you really enjoy all of the reviews, or at least most of them, please think about subscribing because that would make me very happy.